Good morning students. This is 10th standard biology video class, video 2. In this video, we are going to continue the lesson Origin and Evolution of Life. Dear students, in the previous video class, we have seen how Earth is originated, what is Big Bang theory, theories on origin of life, that is special creation, spontaneous generation, biogenesis, extraterrestrial or cosmic origin, chemical origin of life. And also we have seen different theories of evolution. First one, Lamarckism. The basic principles of Lamarckism are internal vital force, environmental and new needs, use and disuse theory, theory of inheritance of acquired character. Up to this only we have seen in the previous video class. Today, in this video, we are going to see the theory of natural selection or Darwinism. Dear students, see the topic Darwinism or theory of natural selection. So this theory of natural selection was proposed by Charles Darwin in the year 1809 to 1882. He was one of the great naturalists and also philosopher in the 18th century. He was born in England in 1809. He studied in college. Through his friendship, the professor named J.S. Enslow, he was very much interested towards the nature. At the time of Charles Darwin, the British administration planned Voyage of Exploration for 5 years. That means traveling on the ship. Voyage of Exploration for 5 years on a ship named HMS Beagle around the South America. So Voyage of Exploration means on the ship. Along with the ship, we have to travel the different area of the South America and we have to find out the natural environment. In that environment, what all the plants and animals are located. So this process was taken place for 5 years. So Dr. Henslow asked Charles Darwin to nominate a young naturalist for the voyage. Charles was given as the opportunity. In 1831 to 1835, he visited many parts of the South America. Not only South America, he was also travelled different parts of the world and also he travelled different islands including Galapagos Island and Pacific Island. Darwin has made an elaborate observation in these two islands, Galapagos Island and Pacific Island. And also he studied the nature of the land, plants and animals of the different region he has visited. After 5 years, he has worked for 20 years to develop the theory is known as theory of natural selection. Darwin published his observation and conclusion in the name of a book known as Origin of Species. Is the important 1 mark question. In the year 1859. In that book, he has demonstrated the fact of the evolution. Evolution means the gradual changes occur from the past to the present. That is said to be evolution. So Darwin has demonstrated the fact of the evolution. The elaborate notes on the evolution is known as theory of natural selection for evolutionary transformation. That means the theory of natural selection has demonstrated how the gradual changes occur from the past to the present, and also how this character which is transferred from one generation to another generation. That theory is known as theory of natural selection. Dear students, now we are going to see the principles of Darwinism, which was demonstrated in the book is known as Origin of Species. The name of the theory is known as natural selection. So the first principle of the Darwinism or theory of natural selection is overprotection. That means living beings such as plants and animals have the ability to reproduce their own kind is known as reproduction. And we all know that one. All the living organisms give birth to young ones. Those young ones look like a parental one. So that is said to be reproduction. And also, these living organisms have the capacity to multiply the geographical manner. So based upon the environmental area, that is said to be geographical manner, they are also multiplied their population. So this capacity leads to the overprotection of the living being in the particular environment. That is said to be overprotection. That means producing newly formed organism in a large number. Second one, struggle for existence. So due to increasing of geometric ratio and also overprotection of the population, it caused some competition between the species. The species which compete with other one has the capacity to survive in the particular environment. So each and every organism struggling means to adapt the particular environment, they are compete with other organism. That is said to be struggle for existence. For what purpose they are compete with the other organism? That means to occupy a particular living place, to get the food material from the environment, and also to survive in the particular environment. So these are all the three factors. The organism which are compete with other organism to struggle for existence. Existence means to live on the earth or survive on the earth. They are fighting with or compete with other organism for their life activity and also food material. See the lines given in the paragraph. I told you the organisms compete with other organisms for food and space, lead to struggle. The struggle for existence is divided into different types. One is the intra-specific struggle or inter-specific struggle. So dear students, how the organism which are compete with the other organism. First one, intra-specific. Intra, that means they are compete with the same species of the individuals. For example, a group of dog or a cat which are living in the particular environment. Among the dogs, they are compete with each other for food material and the living place. Likewise, a group of cats which are compete with other cats for their food and living place or space. That type of struggling is known as intra-specific struggle. Another one, inter-specific struggle. That means the competition is taken place between different species which are living together. For example, in a wild forest is there. In that forest, different animals is there. For example, rabbits are living on the burrows, monkeys are living on the tree, lion is living on the dens, caves also they are living like that one. So elephants, deer, tiger, leopard, like different animals are living in the particular environment. Lion is known as the king of the forest. So these lion which are hunting the other animals for their food material to survive in the particular environment. For example, deer or mouse, not mouse, that is rabbit, like that. That type of competition is known as inter-specific struggle. That means the competition is taken place between the different species which are living together. So forest is the best example for inter-specific struggling. So these two are the two types of struggle for existence. Third one is also there, environmental struggle. That means in the environment we are having different types of non-living factor. That is temperature, cold, winter season, spring season. So these are all the different environmental factor. Sometimes the drought also occur, panjo. Then flood is also taken place, that means occurring. So we can able to struggle for those environmental factor such as extreme heat or cold, drought or flood. So these environmental struggle also can affect the life activity of the organism. So organism which are struggle for those environmental factor is known as environmental struggle. So these are all different type of struggling to exist their life in the particular environment which has taken place between the living organism such as plants and animals. Next one is the variation. So what is variation? Between the species, they are showing certain changes. That is said to be variation. This variation which occur in the plants and animals. So a small difference which is present among the species only leads to the evolutionary relationship. That is parinama valarchi. According to Darwin, favorable variation are useful to the organism and unfavorable variations are harmful or useless to the organism. That means a changes which is occur in the organism, it's favorable to the organism means that variation is useful to the organism. Some changes, they are not useless. That means they are not useful to the organism. Those variations are known as unfavorable variations. So variations also divided into two. Favorable one is useful to the organism. Unfavorable one is useless to the organism. Whatever may be, the changes occur in the character of a future of a plants and animals is known as variation. So for example, dear students, next one is the survival of the fittest or natural selection. So during struggle for existence, the organism can overcome the challenging situation. That means different environmental factors which are affecting their life activities. In that environmental factors, organisms are struggle for existence and also they are survive and adapt to the particular environment. It's said to be survival of the fittest or natural selection. For example, I told you the species which are compete with among themselves, intra-specific struggle. Inter-specific means between the species, that means different species. For example, cat and a dog, that is a different species, fight for the space and food material in the particular environment is known as struggle for existence. In this competition, they are fight with different organisms among themselves. They can overcome to challenge the situation and survive. Survive means live. And also adapt to the particular environment is known as survival of the fittest. So, each and every organism which are compete with each other among themselves and they struggle for existence and they can survive or adapt to the surrounding environment. Some of the organisms, they are unable to struggle for existence and also survive and adapt the environment. Those organisms are disappear, that means destroy. So, organisms which are selecting the environment with favorable variation is called natural selection. So, what is natural selection? The process of selection of organism with favorable changes. What is the favorable changes? Useful changes is called natural selection. Next one, origin of species. According to Darwin, new species are originated, that means organisms are originated by the gradual accumulation. So accumulation means they are storing the favorable variations, useful variations for a number of generations is known as origin of species. So, dear students, due to the character changes, those character changes are useful means they are using their life activity. By using this favorable variation, a gradual accumulations are occur from several generations. So, the origin of species is evolved on the earth region. So, this is said to be the different principles of Darwinism. Dear students, up to this we have seen different principles of Darwinism, and also last video class we have seen principles of Lamarckism. A diagrammatic representation is explained the principles of Lamarckism. First one, environmental changes. So due to environmental changes, they need changes in the organism also. That means new structure. That new structure showing the further development, that it's said to be development of new structure. That newly formed organ is used for their life activities. Those useful characters are inheritance of adaptive character. That means they are transferred from one generation to next generation for their life activity. Finally, origin of new species are evolved. We are coming to the another side. If the newly formed organisms are not used, that is said to be organs of disuse, the organism is degenerated or destroy of the structure. This is said to be the diagrammatic representation of Lamarckism. So this is the different principles of Darwinism. First one, overpopulation, that means production. They are increasing in their population or number or species. So they are struggling for the space and food, that is known as struggle for existence. So these existence are taken place among themselves, that is intra-specific existence. Then between the species also they are struggling, that is inter-specific existence. Then again, some variation is also taken place in our environmental condition. Due to environmental variation, our organs is also changed. That variation is said to be favorable and unfavorable. Favorable variations are used for their life activities. Unfavorable variations are not useful or harmful to the life activities. So these variations are leads to natural selection. That means the organism which are selecting the particular environment for their struggle for existence, surviveness and adaptation. Then for this natural selection, they are survival of the fittest. That means they are struggle to survive in that particular environment. From that newly formed characters are produced, that is inheritance of acquired character. Then gradual accumulation, that means different characters are stored of favorable characters. Newly formed species are produced, that is origin of species. We are coming to the next side. If the variation is not useful, the organism is eliminated from the environment, that means destroyed from the environment. So this is said to be the flow chart which are showing the principles of Darwinism. Dear students, both the flow charts are very important for 4-mark question. The next topic is Ethnobotany. So it is a branch of botany to study the particular region of a plant, that means particular environmental plants and their practical uses. Then the traditional knowledge, that means traditional uses of those plants which are getting from the local culture of the people, that means tribal people. That is known as ethnobotany. Study of region of a plant, practical uses of a plant and also traditional knowledge of a plant is taken from the local people. The term ethnobotany was coined by J.W. Hochberger, 1-mark question, in the year 1895 to include the study of plants used by the primitive and aboriginal people. That means we are going to study the plants used by the primitive, that means first formed plants, and also aboriginal people, that means after that it will be cultivated by the people. So this discipline of the ethnobotany has existed for ages. That means what are all the character? We are going to see the particular region of a plant and their uses and the traditional knowledge. First, the age of a plant. So through this discipline has existed for ages, ethnobotany emerged as a academic branch of natural science in the year 20th century. So we are going to study about the plants used by the primitive and aboriginal people. We are producing or emerged a newly branch of natural science is known as ethnobotany in the year 20th century. The term ethnobotany was coined by J.W. Hochberger in the year 1895. Next topic is aspects of ethnobotany. Dear students, this ethnobotany explains the problems of nutrition. So what all the problem occur due to the food material? Nutrition means food material. Health care and life support system, faith in plants, cottage industry, that means small scale industries, economic upliftment, that means economical value increase, conservation of your plants and animals, and biodiversity, what all the different organisms, that is plants and animals present in all over the world is also calculated by using the ethnobotany, and sustainable use of plants resources. That means not only that, all over the world What all the plants which are adapt in the particular environment and survive their life activities is also studied with the help of ethnobotany. That is said to be aspects of ethnobotany. Problems of nutrition, healthcare of a nutrition or healthcare of an organism, life support, faith in plants, cottage industries, economic upliftment, conservation of biodiversity and sustainable of the plant resources. Next book back question, importance of ethnobotany. The ethnobotany which provides traditional use of a plant. That means they are telling about the traditional use of a plant. So it gives the information about the known plant and also unknown plant which is present all over the world. Then ethnomedical data, that means a medicine which are prepared from the plants is also given in a form of a computerized data. And also this medicinal data is very much useful for the chemist, pharmacologist, that means those are preparing tablets and syrup, that is pharmacologist, and the practitioners of herbal medicine, that means some person which are preparing the Ayurvedic medicine from the plants, that is said to be herbal medicine. So those who are preparing herbal medicine is known as practitioner of herbal medicine. So these chemists, pharmacologists or practitioners of herbal medicine, this ethnobotany is giving the medicinal data. So this is the importance of ethnobotany. The last important of ethnobotany is tribal communities. Tribal people utilize the ethnobotanical medicinal plant parts like bark, stem, root, leaves, flower bud, flowers, fruits, seeds, oils, resins means gum, piscine or a resin, dyes, gum for the treatment of like. That means by using different parts of a plant parts, the tribal people which are preparing the medicinal, that means medicines from the plants. These medicines are used to cure diarrhea, fever, headache, diabetes, that means sugar patient, jaundice, manjakamalai, snake bites and also leprosy. So these are all the different diseases cured by preparing the ethnomedicinal plant by tribal people. So these are all the different importance of ethnobotany. Dear students, what is ethnobotany? Write its importance is the important 4-mark question. Kindly note down in your textbook. Up to this, the lesson is over. The next video class, we will start the new lesson. God bless you. All the best, children.